Welcome to our 24th Trader Chat. Today is the 11th of April 2012, and as always we need to start things off by running through our legally obliged disclaimers. The first disclaimer tells us that all trading involves risk, and you should be aware of and accept this risk before trading, and never trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. You should also be aware that past performance of any trading methodology is no guarantee of future results, and no representation is being made in this webinar that any account will achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed. Finally, all considered to be hypothetical unless otherwise specified, and hypothetical performance results have many inherent limitations, and unlike an actual performance record, do not represent actual trading. Alright, a few pointers about using NetViewers for those of you who are new, and I see a few new names there. First of all, the best way to ask questions is to type a message into the chat window. If you cannot hear me, you should slide the loudspeaker volume in your VoIP tray of your NetViewer control panel to the right. That will increase your speaker volume. It is separate from your system volume. I don't know why. And if you would like to speak to me, not that I don't think anybody has for a few years now, but if you would like to speak to me, then right-click and enter a text message in the chat window so that I know it's not an accidental click. Speaking of which, please be careful of mouse clicks. Either left or right mouse clicks tend to pop up brightly colored arrows and speech bubbles, which can be a little bit distracting. Now, as you might know, last week we started what we informally refer to as our breakaway chats. Trader Chat has become a real institution, and Trader Chats were becoming very large and perhaps slightly formal, if you like, because of the very large numbers of people who were attending our Trader Chats. And so we have started forming breakaway chats. They are smaller groups, and our first smaller group Trader Chat is our Australian time zone group. We call it Oz Trader Chat, and that happens every Thursday at 11 a.m. UTC. Now, I don't know if you find time zones as confusing as I do, but that's midday in Rome, midday in Rome on a Thursday, and so it's basically 2 hours earlier than our Wednesday Trader Chats. If you would like to join the Oz Trader Chat, you are more than welcome to. It is designed for the Australian time zone, if you like. It's early evening for Australia, and so it's a more convenient time, because I know that the Australians who join us on Wednesday, and I see some of you there today, it's pretty late at night on a Wednesday, our regular Trader Chat. So the Thursday Trader Chat is specifically aimed towards the Australian time zone. We talk about the same kinds of things, although we are focusing on the Australian markets in our Oz Trader Chat, and we are going to be announcing several other breakaway chats which are going to be specifically orientated towards other markets, other time zones. Everybody, obviously from around the world, is very welcome to join any Trader Chat that they like, whether the Oz Trader Chat or our Wednesday Trader Chat or any of our other breakaway groups. So the idea is that you find a time zone that suits you best. That way we are able to break our Trader Chats up into smaller groups. It can be a little more intimate, a little more informal, and hopefully it's going to prove to be useful to all of you. Okay, so let me see. Today, let's get down to what we're speaking about today. As you know, the last several Trader Chats on Wednesdays, we've been doing a sort of a back to basics series. We started off with simply creating a chart in Sentient Trader, and 2 weeks ago we spoke about how to make sure that your analysis is good, how to judge your analysis, how to make sure that you have a good analysis. And today we're taking things a step further, still part of the Back to Basics series, if you like, but I'm going to be speaking about trading, and it might seem unusual, but I'm going to speak about trading with the analyst edition. Of course, there are two versions of Sentient Trader that are available nowadays. There's the Trader Edition, which is the full version of Sentient Trader that does analysis and trading instructions, generates trading signals. And there's the Analyst Edition, which performs an analysis only. And for a lot of people who are working with the Analyst Edition, they want to know whether they can perform trading with the Analyst Edition. Well, of course you can, but Sentient Trader software does not produce the trading signals for you. You have to do it for yourself. So that's what we're going to be speaking about today, which is trading for yourself, using effectively the Analyst Edition of Sentient Trader. Of course, you can do this as well with the Trader Edition of Sentient Trader, except that the Trader Edition of Sentient Trader will be producing trading signals for you. The better you understand those trading signals, of course, the better you will be able to profit from them. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the same workspace that we've been speaking about over the past few weeks in Trader Chat. This is an analysis of the S&P 500. And just to set the picture, I'm of course running the full edition of Sentient Trader. I'm running the Trader Edition of Sentient Trader, which, if I ask it to, will generate trading signals for me. But for the purpose of today's Trader Chat, I'm going to speak about how one would find trading opportunities yourself using only the analysis that Sentient Trader has performed, and not speak about the trading functionality or the trading methodology so much that is built into Sentient Trader. All right, so let's set the scene. Let's have a look at the charts that we've got here. The first chart that I created in this workspace I called default analysis. This is the ES, the E-mini, S&P 500 E-mini futures contract. This is the continuous contract. In other words, it's always the front month, the month that is currently being traded. So it differs slightly from the actual level of the S&P 500. And I've performed an analysis on it. This chart shows the default analysis, which we spoke about a few weeks ago, and I selected an analysis period and I performed an analysis. I'm not going to repeat all of that, obviously, otherwise we'll be here for a few hours. But this default analysis, as you are probably aware or familiar with, has found a 4.5-year cycle that formed a trough in late 2002 or early 2003. And then the notorious potentially straddled trough of August 2007, and then a more recent 4.5-year cycle trough in October of 2011. Now, as I spoke about, I believe two weeks ago, when I was talking about how do you make sure you have a good analysis, I have a few doubts about this analysis, not in terms of the shorter term analysis, but in terms of the longer term analysis. Obviously, it's a little bit questionable, the placing of. Let me just turn on my whiteboard. There we go. It's a little questionable, I believe, placing a 4.5-year cycle trough over there. It might be right. It might turn out in the long run to be the true analysis, and it's analysis that we've been working with and trading with for quite some time. But there are a few question marks, the biggest of which, of course, is the shape of the cycle. As you will probably know, I'm a little obsessed by the shapes of cycles because I believe cyclic trading, according to Hurst cyclic principles, is all about understanding the shapes of the cycles you're in. The better you understand them, the better you can trade. And so there is a pretty nasty shape to this 4.5-year cycle. Which is called an inverted shape because the center point has dropped way down below both the start and the end points of that particular cycle. So I have some questions about that analysis. So now today we're talking about trading. We're going to start making some trading decisions. So why am I talking about the analysis? Well, it's really critically important that you understand that the trading that you perform on the basis of Hurst cyclic principles and using Sentient Trader is entirely the result of the analysis that has been performed. Okay, you're not making trading decisions in a vacuum. You're making trading decisions on the basis of the analysis, of course. And if that analysis is not good, then your trading decisions are not going to be good. And a bad trading decision means you're going to lose money. Now, obviously, you don't want to do that. We don't want you to do that. And so it's very important that you get used to looking at an analysis and being critical about it. Now, we're very proud of the analysis that Sentient Trader performs. Sentient Trader performs a very good, very reliable analysis, and a very good analysis to trade by. However, it is worth spending a little bit of time getting, if possible, a better analysis out of Sentient Trader. So I raised the question mark about the positioning of the 4.5-year cycle trough. Now, what happens if you didn't raise that question mark? Well, actually, you would probably nevertheless still be performing some fairly good and fairly reliable trading decisions, because Hurst cyclic principles are fairly robust. What that means is that you might have the magnitude of a particular cycle out. You might think that's a 4.5-year cycle trough instead of it actually being an 18-month cycle trough. In terms of the trading decisions you make, there's not a huge amount of difference. So generally, you're protected by the fact that Hurst cyclic principles are fairly robust. Nevertheless, it is worth looking at the analysis that you're trading on the basis of, and making sure that the decisions you make are in line with the best possible analysis that you can produce. So let me zoom out again. This is a long-term look at this analysis. This is the default analysis. I'm not very happy about that positioning of the 4.5-year cycle trough. If you've been taking a look at our forum, you'll notice that some of our users have been discussing the positioning of the 4.5-year cycle trough and whether it should be better positioned here in October 2011 or here in March of 2009. It's a really interesting discussion. In many ways, it's a fairly academic discussion, but certainly when you're about to perform trading decisions, it is useful that you, as the trader, make a decision about where you think that trough should be placed. Recently, certainly, I have started questioning the positioning of that trough. And so I have created an alternative analysis, which I've called alternate number 2. And as you can see, let me zoom in so you can see this analysis. This analysis has simply positioned that 4.5-year cycle trough down here. It's a bit of a skew arrow, but it's positioned that 4.5-year cycle trough in March of 2009. Now, is that the correct analysis? Well, I don't know, but personally, at present, I prefer this analysis because it makes a little more sense.